All right, we are live. You know, gonna do a skate real quick. Gold salsa. Do I get to win today? And leap of faith. Let's go do a leap of faith. We overshot. Needed it. Gotta go back to these. Oh, it's turning one the other way. Let's go. Silver. This way too. Yes, it is. All right. Yeah. All of them collected. We're out. Dana Smith. Oh, yo, what's up? Waiting on the other idiot to get done cleaning his raccoon guts. run one of these. Maybe. $450 for the week. My retainer spared. Alright, that was good. Wow, that sells for 3,400. I'll take it. Alright, so you found me a decent find. You have awoken. Awoken. Awakened. Pick the lives that must be taken. Okay. Back to Revenant's Toll and he finally shows up. Plus, zoom. There we go. Alright, now we push on. Charge! What's up, Flamine? Oh, you wish to help? That's very kind of you, but I can manage on my own. Besides, you should be out having grand adventures. No, not withering away here with me. Alright. He's reading a book. Let's go. Were you sacrificing it to a primal? Sounds to me like you were sacrificing it to a primal. Villia has a new assignment for me. Let's see. Truly, there is no rest for the weary. Scarce had I begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It would appear their storehouse in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seemed in isolation, occasional discrepancies in the manifests were long dismissed as clerical errors. It was only concerning during the concern's annual audit that a pattern became apparent. Significant quantities of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I need hardly to tell you what that may imply. More summoning. The Brass Blades charged with investigating the thefts believe that someone within the concern is selling crystals for profit. Alas, they have as of yet been unable to identify a likely suspect, and the concern's proprietors have grown frustrated by their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been of merely monetary value. If there is even a possibility that the thief acts not out of self-interest but in service to a primal, we can ill afford to wait for the Blades to realize their mistake. Pray depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with Ishtola when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. I have every confidence that the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts. I only hope our fears prove unfounded when you do. Alright, back to Horizon. It's like I'm going to the Waking Sands, only I'm not. Or am I? No, we're going right over here. Ah, Magnarmus, your assistance is most welcome. I have already spoken at length with the brass blades of the Rose, albeit with little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pains to conceal their activities. I could go no further into the detail, but your time might be better spent in conversation with Fufu Lupa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigation, and I would only be repeating that which he related to me. If aught eluded my attention, mayhap it will not elude yours. To Fufu Lupa, all the way over here. Magnarmus, what a pleasure to see you again. Ishtola said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... Ah, but never mind that. I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Allegan Sunway. The cart bolted off towards eastern Thanalan, where thank the gods I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident. A speeding carriage? That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning. Yet the Amalja do not have a foothold in eastern Thanalan. And what of their cargo? Did they carry the crystals we seek? We should be receiving our port any moment now, but I fail to see what else it could. Did you miss me, friends? I'm back, but I fear I come bearing disappointing news. Or on second thought, perhaps it is good news after all. Thancred, wherever have you been off to? I figured you had everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amalja friends. And wouldn't you believe it, I happened upon a runaway carriage on the way, and even was able to do my small part to help my friends in the Brass Blades intercept it. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of somberness. The Blades were calling it one of the greatest hauls they'd have ever seen. The stolen crystals, on the other hand, were nowhere to be found. Is that so? Alas, I suppose I have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere. We should reassess our options as well. Come with us, Magnarmus. Against all expectation, it would seem the Amalja are innocent of this particular spate of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. But I can't fathom why anyone else would want to go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. If their motives were profit, they would limit their trade to crystals alone. Plainly, we are missing something. While you think about what it might be, I shall inform Urianger of our progress, or lack thereof. The music changed.
Now then.
Oh, it's voiced.
Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
Indeed, I shall remain watchful. Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Oh, very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's Toe. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
Leave it to Thancred to ask how hot she is.
far across the sea from the land of Domar have we traveled? We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
On a somber note, that woman's voice actor was murdered by her boyfriend. Any bright ideas? A solitary flash of insight? Oh, well then, for want of a better suggestion, I say we try picking Foopaloopa's brain again. Who knows if we work together? We may yet find something of use nestled away within it. Oh, but it is good to see you return. I have given some thought to the matter, and I have just hit upon a most disturbing possibility. Oh shit. How could I have been so blind? Calm yourself, Foofaloopa. What is this disturbing possibility of which you speak? I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long. Then it came to me, what if there is something among our own ranks conspiring with them, a traitor in our own midst? Well, that wouldn't be the first time that happened. It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well-founded, Foofaloopa. Indeed, if for reasons of security the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, the plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed. Ah, but such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Would thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation? Mayhap not, but neither could the concern be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they might instead elect to carry out the transfer in secret, to entrust the goods to, let's say, a lone Mikote miner traveling without escort, so as not to attract undue attention. But who? Ah, I see, yes, the concern may well elect to do that. But to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed, and this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way, mayhap north of the bridge to Hammerley? A fine spot for a rest, would you not agree, Magnarmus? Would you lie in wait to the north, and I shall do the same to the south? Forgive me, my friends, but I have received new orders. I must inform my men at once. Call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves lay down their arms and surrender. Say that you come prepared to offer them some encouragement. Sure, I'll beat some ass. Ass beating. Stand watch here. Hi, sir. Yeah, tried. That fate. Way too low. Stubborn to the last, as expected. You are unharmed? Yeah. They were pushovers. A gang of sea wolf thieves. And in Thanalan, no less? I suppose there's a first time for everything. Sea wolves? All of them? Aye, and all with the same taste in facial tattoos. Blue, in case you are wondering. Our thieves are a long way from home. Tancred, if you would be so good as to attend the outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make. To Horizon, then. Fufulupa will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. Yeah, but they're all dead, so how am I gonna get any information from them? Could have at least kept one of them alive. What you got? On behalf of the Brass Blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. Ah, but we have not been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Is that so? Then by your leave, I should very much like to have a word with the fellow in private. Ah, no, I'm afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he managed to subdue the unit of Blades dispatched to detain him. Made good his escape. Oh, for the love of... And how did he manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling that somnus we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise? No, but he was quite strong. A sea-wolf, Leminzen born and raised, I believe. But do not worry, we will find him. You have my word on that. I see. Pray keep me appraised of any developments. Yes, he's standing next to me. Understood. I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know. One must follow where duty leads. I try to look a little disappointed. Or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? Yep. The antecedent bid me to tell you to make your way to Vesper Bay, where young Alfredo awaits your coming most eagerly. It was he who requested your assistance. Some commotion or incident. I am not privy to the details. And while you do whatever it is that Alfano has planned for you, I shall endeavor to track down our traitorous brass blade. When I do, you may rest assured that we will have our answers. Back towards the waking sands. You are late, no matter. I know where our visitors are headed. What I have been able to gather, this vessel belongs to a band of Domans who seek an audience with the Sultana. You are familiar with Doma, yes, in Orthard? Well, like the rest of the nations of the Eastern Continent, it is ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best of circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale. And more importantly, what they know of the current state of the affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We would be fools not to pursue this opportunity, don't you think? Do you not think? Come with me to Ul'dah, Magnarmus. Unless I am mistaken, I am rarely mistaken. We will find the Domans bickering with a Sultan sworn on the Royal Promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings, insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by some. If not, who better to have on hand in an event of the unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do enjoy your sparkling repartee. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Ul'dah. Alright. To Ul'dah. this one led outside of the Waking Sand. Or, Chamber of Rule. Let's go! It matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permissions, none shall pass. Oh wait, I should have done this in the Black Knight voice. None shall pass. Quite understand, good sir. We have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All that I ask is you summon your superior. Allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us that small kindness. Away with you, and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask again. You know not what you do. I gather your pleas fell upon deaf ears. A loyal man with a cold heart. I know his kind well. I hope that you will find me more to your liking. Alphino Levior, at your service, a friend. Which I believe makes me very nearly unique. In this part of the world at least. You indeed are your allies in Nildar. Yet you will need some if you wish to endear yourselves to the wealthy and powerful. Pray join me and my associate at the quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there is aught we can do to help. Quick nod. Bart can be a dick. To the Adventurers Guild. Been a while since I set foot here. Nope, he meant this place, the quicksand. Voice acting.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma
There's
was
something up with my
under
mic.
imperial rule, did you not?
Doma
I wasn't
is
aware of anything.
raised to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
12 have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so.
Oh, maybe I'm not talking loud enough into it.
I
Move it
sought an
closer.
audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Uldar are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care.
Ooh.
I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Click
Be
the
that
mic.
as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Ul'dah unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
If I may, sir. As I said earlier, we have been at sea for several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them. I think, suffice it to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more when you have already offered so much, desperation compels me. Counsel, sir, if you would, or your associates could spare any provisions, anything at all, it would go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. Speak with Momodi. Hells, why didn't you say so sooner, Magmarmus? Of course I'll help you. Couldn't have picked a better day to tell us the truth. A wealthy merchant and his entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow, see? But just sent word that they can't come, meaning I have a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Haha. Go and call on Friduri and Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell them I said to ship the little prince's order to the Waking Sands. Oh, and if they argue, just show them those letters. That should set them straight. Okay. Modi coming in a pinch. Buying a banquet and not showing up for it. Huh, that's a rather odd request. Mayhap you misheard her instructions? Here's a letter. You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. She's in the business of feeding refugees now. I ain't normally one to question Mistress Momodi's judgment, but that doesn't seem wise to me. I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man what can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. Where it came from. Speak with Momodi again. They didn't give you any trouble, did they? Good. Now and tell Lady Yugiri it's all in hand. I dared not hope for such magnanimity. Much less expect it. Mistress Momodi is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. Lady Yugiri, I briefed the Flame General of our situation. I think you'll be pleased with his reply. You have been granted an audience? Before the Sultana and the Syndicate both. We should return to the Royal Promenade at once. You have done much for us. Master Alphino, I swear we shall return the favor. Nod is owed, Lady Yugiri. For nod has been given. This small favor you fairly won with your words. And it is with words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. Then I shall choose them with care. You will be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy, and that nothing so unpalatable will be required of them, assuming the Domans are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us on the Royal Promenade. The lab's gonna eat the raccoon, Francis? Back to the Royal Promenade. Charge in there, swords blazing. Pleasure, Captain Darkblade. Orders are already inside. Let's not keep them waiting.
I, Yugiri of Doma, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Doma, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Yugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law. Lord Lolorito? Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Yes, the law is the law, and so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Ul'dah's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example
It's very
for
condescendingly.
evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage have fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
Four against, 3-4. The nays have it.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
Promises to keep. As you've observed, Lolorito is not afraid to speak his mind, nor is he like to change it. Oft have I wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. I will waste no more words on him. Not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone, follow me to the Hall of Flames. To the Hall of Flames. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Flames, yeah, they're on a boat. Everybody look at them because they're sailing on a boat. Hey look, one of my friends. The Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving the matters be reconsidered. The Monitorists have made their position clear. Agreed, Ul'dah is not an option. Nor are Limsa or Gridania, I judge, given the state of their internal affairs, which leaves our Doman friends to the confined to a ship. Gods, the thought of them huddled in that airless hold with no hope of better treatment. That I had more time to find an alternative, a place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. Philia, that is precisely what I wish to discuss. I understand the Syndicate's decision, I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. But I cannot meekly accept this judgment, not while my people suffer. Would it be out of the question for the Sultanate to accept us for a limited time? A week, mayhap, or even just a few days? Excellent. I shall keep you informed. Lady Yugiri, I have a proposal if you would hear it. Out with it, Master Alphanode. The headquarters of my order, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, stands in a place called Revenant's Toll, an outpost in Mordona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by merchants and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of most more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, there have been able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands, hard labor, lest you doubt, with naught save food and shelter by way of reward. Terms not unlike that which you propose yourself, Lady Yugiri. Though I will not hear a word said against our beloved Ul'dah, Revenant's Toll would offer certain advantages, the absence of an unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. If they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Master Alphanu, once again, I find myself in your debt. Pray do not thank me, my lady. The life of your people is to go to as one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. Before that, there remains the matter of how they may safely be borne to Revenant's Toll, which will be no small feat, considering the distance and their present condition. Mayhap the Ul'dah Adventurers Guild can be of assistance. Look for me there anon, man Narmis. Lady Ugiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the Immortal Flames can provide. Alright, cool. We're bringing them to our town. Wave. Oh. Play log message. Da-da-da-da-da-da-do. We are concerned that the Doman refugees may find the journey to Revenant's Toll too much to bear. Too long have they been sequestered aboard their ship, with insufficient supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Momodi has kindly offered to accommodate the Domans until such a time as they are ready to set out for Mordona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as transportation has been secured, while those too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength. News. Transportation remains our greatest obstacle, General. Is there aught the Mortal Flames can do? I fear that exceeds our mandate. Were it a smaller number, mayhap it would go unnoticed. But the Syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 Domans to Mordona. When government fails to act, the responsibility falls on us private citizens. I will engage the services of the 77 caravans on the Doman's behalf. Very well, we should begin contract negotiations at once. Your generosity is most welcome, my lord. After all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend in Ul'dah, Lady Ugiri. And you in Revenant's Toll, my lord. What's up, Whaley? So it sounds like we all have work to do. Lady Ugiri, let us put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? Now I saw it. I would entrust the task of escorting the Doman friends to you, after you have rested your own weary legs, of course. What say you? Say you indeed. Yuri's game. As we speak, the Domans prepare for departure at Vesper Bay, wherefrom they will be transported by carriage to Ul'dah. That said, this has all been decided rather suddenly, and it would not surprise me if the refugees required some assistance in coordinating their preparations. Agnarmus, I would have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever must needs be done, do it. I think he meant the tell that he sent me in-game. Speak with a man named Hozon when you arrive. As Lady Ugiri tells it, he has been designated as the leader of the first group. Alright. On to Vesper Bay again. I'll take the faster way there. Faster way there. I'm on New Game Plus. I don't get those shiny tickets that take me straight there. Two Arcanists. Whoa. Ferry ticketer. Vesper Bay. Hozan, what say you, Hozan? Greetings, Alphino informed me that a scion would be arriving to help with the preparations. I am honored to meet you, though I am shamed as well. A great warrior should not be tasked with such trivialities. You can say that again, bud. I knew from a glance that what matter of man you were. I too have some skill at arms, as do many of our people. Pray forgive me this trifle, but I might trouble you to help me round up the children what have been given into my care. They are most adept at staying hidden from my sight, but perhaps your keen eyes will succeed at where I have failed. Yeah, my thanks, friend. Pray seek out my son Yozan, he can tell you more. Oh, hello there. I'm Yozan, son of Hozan. You'll be coming with us to Ul'dah? I hear that we're traveling by horse-bird-drawn carriage. But don't you think they're weird? Giant birds that people ride like horses? I still want to try riding one, but... What's that? You're looking for the others? Don't worry, I already told them to get ready for the carriages. I'll need your help, though. We were just finishing a game of hide and seek. 3 players are still in hiding. Since yet Lady Yugiri told us to take it really seriously, they won't move until they're found. But Vesper Bay isn't that big, so I bet you can find them in no time. Find the children. Found one. Hey, you're not Yozan. Who are you? I'm Koharu, Agnarsmus Darkblade. Hey, I didn't know anyone else was. Wait a minute. You're one of those, stallions, aren't you? No, scions. Then you must know Lady Yugiri, right? Isn't she great? She's really good at hide and seek, too. Oh, right. It's almost time to go. Nice to meet you, Agnarsmus Darkblade. There we go. Are you playing? Ah, no fair. Yazan didn't say anything about adults. Huh? We need to ride a horsebird carriage? I don't know. It sounds scary, but if Yazan says it's safe, I'll go. How'd you find me? I guess I need to practice more. Or maybe you're just good at this. I mean, the Garleans didn't find me. Goes on. Wonderful, all the children are accounted. Hide and seek. Ah, I see that you're curious. It's quite simple, really. Lady Yugiri thought it best to teach that the children know what to do in case the Garleans found us. I should hope that those days are behind us, but I nevertheless take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. The first caravan is due to depart shortly, followed by the rest at regular intervals. My family and I, including my stubborn old father, Hume, will be traveling in the lead carriage with young Koharu, whom I believe you've already met. Though I understand the road to Ul'dah is regularly patrolled by your brass blades, it would give us great comfort if you would agree to accompany us on our journey. Once again, I thank you for your kindness. When you are ready to leave, please inform our coachman. Why we adventure. Eager to be off, are you? Aye, well, I was meaning to have a word with you about that runner from the Blade says we might have a problem. A fierce-looking beastie's been sighted south of the bridge to Hammerley. Might it be as someone's eyes are playing tricks on him, of course, but we don't pay to gamble in this business. Now, I know you can handle yourself in a fight, but this lot here's another story. So I was thinking you might go ahead and have a quick look around. Make sure the area is safe, and if you come across anything dangerous, you know what to do. When you're satisfied the way is clear, meet us outside Horizon. The blades tell me the road's there is safe, so I reckon we can make it that far on our own, assuming the self-same bastards don't try to rob us, that is. Okay. Thieves never learn. Knew that guy that just eviscerated a huge dragon on the road? Let's try to rob him. Never learn. Not here for you. I'm here for this. Back outside Horizon. Alright, what's he say? So there was a beastie. Was being the operative word, hey? Haha. Well fought, sir, well fought. If only I were in better health, I should have been proud to stand at your side. Pay my son no mind. He forgets that his responsibilities preclude acts of daring do. Be that as it may, I cannot help but envy you. Had we been able to call upon heroes of your strength and skill in Doma, things would have been very different. But we cannot change the past. Those who fought and fell are forever lost to us. Lost but not forgotten, Lady Yugiri's kinsmen least of all. They fought the fiercest, though they knew full well it was in vain. She had every right to walk away, and she chose to stay. Food, shelter, the promise of a better life, all this and more we owe to her. How does one even begin to repay such a debt? In kind, Father. To she who has given everything, we shall give our all. Whatever work there is to be done, we shall do without question. Ditch digging, brick laying, it matters not. Revenant's toll will grow and prosper by our hands. Hey, Mr. Magnarmus, Koharu and I want to know why you became an adventurer. I knew it! That's what I told Koharu, but she didn't believe me. My turn now. Excuse me, Mr. Magnarmus. I've got a question. What's Revenant's toll like? Is it pretty? It is a stone's throw away from an Imperial castrum. You can't fool me. No one would ever live that close to a castrum. Liar. Liar, breachers on fire. Oh, she said liar, liar, breachers on fire. Enough, Koharu. It's my turn to again. Master Magnarmus, when I'm older, I want to be strong like you. What do I have to do? Train every day. So my father was right. How do you do it then? Come on, tell me. And don't leave anything out. Alright, that's enough questions for Mr. McNarmus. That's not fair. Why does Yozon get to ask 2 questions? I want to know about adventuring as much as he does. Just one more, please. Do you think I could be an adventurer like you one day? Yeah, sure. Really? Then I will. Thanks in advance. Thanks for the advice, Mr. McNarmus. I won't forget it. I'm going to be an adventurer, too. When we get to Revenant's Toll, let's make an adventurers guild for Domans. We'll protect our friends and punish the wicked, just like Mr. McNarmus and Lady Ugiri. Yeah, just like Mr. McNarmus and Lady Ugiri. We can talk more about it in the carriage on the way. Will you be joining us? Sure. Yep. You know how he can train? He can move the rocks around Revenant's Toll for us. And dig some ditches. Speak with Alphino at the quicksand. Into town I go. Little do they know, it really is a stone's throw away from an Imperial castrum. Yes, I can send him on the fetch quest. Perfect. Go tell him to go collect rocks from the river and... No. Stood there and said nothing. Back to the guild. Oberon Wayward. Person. And Alphino says, Ah, McNarmus, I take it the first group has arrived? Excellent. Is there aught else? No, I have matters well in hand here. You and Lady Ugiri should travel to Revenant's Toll forthwith. It's past time Lady Ugiri met with the guild representatives in Revenant's Toll. Since I do not foresee any further matters arising here in Thanalan which might require your personal attention, I would instead have you serve as an escort to the Doman delegation for the duration of the journey. Speak first with Slapborn upon your arrival. He is the one whom the Domans will be working most closely, I should think. Afterwards, introduce yourself to Lady Ugiri to Minfilia and the guild emissary. If both meetings go well, the resulting ties should stand the Domans in good stead for that which is to come. Safe travels, McNarmus. Slapborn, Revenant's Toll. Ah, perfect. There we go. That's basically making him play WoW. And this must be the esteemed Lady Ugiri and her associates. I greet you all as friends and bid you welcome to the Toll. I hope you do not find our dearth of fineness off-putting. Poor though we may seem, we have a wealth of spirit and camaraderie to spare. You see, race and creed don't enter into here. We welcome all sorts, provided they're willing to earn their keep, of course. We are no strangers to hard work, Master Slapborn. You may rest assured that we will carry out your orders with due diligence. Oh, not for a moment did I doubt your commitment, my lady. Pray understand, I give the same speech to all new arrivals, and you needn't bow your head or call me Master either. We are both frontier hands, as far as I'm concerned. As you wish, Slapborn. May this meeting mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. Our guests have yet to meet the antecedent 7 Hells, Magnarmus. Why are you wasting time with me? See them to the Rising Stones. Yes, to the Rising Stones. To whom much is given, much is expected. Forgive me, I require a moment to compose my thoughts before meeting with your leader. We shall join you at the Rising Stones anon. Back into the Rising Stones. Moustache. Is no use. Our attempts to reach the students of Baldessian continue to meet with failure. Urianger has explored other avenues of inquiry, but they too have yielded naught. We will persevere, of course, yet within our hearts the truth is clear. We are but awaiting confirmation of that which we already know. How fare the Domans? I am given to understand you are kept quite busy in Vesper Bay. Mayhap you question the wisdom of aiding refugees when the primal threat remains unresolved? I should not blame you if you did, nor would I deny that this matter falls outside our normal purview. Be that as it may, I could not ignore the plight of these refugees, for when it was within our power to help them. Lady Ugiri is here? Please, show her in. I should very much like to meet her. We have no objections. Pray do so with our blessing. Your answer pleases me beyond words, my lady. But you are quite certain? We have no way of knowing how many might answer my summons. In the event Revenant's toll cannot accommodate us all, we would need to find an alternative solution. Should that come to pass, we will find it together. As ever, it has been a pleasure, Antecedent. Alas, we must take our leave as the first carriages are due to arrive at any moment. Should you require aught else, pray speak to Slathborn, Lady Ugiri. Magnarmus? What do you want from me? Thameen and I will make all necessary preparations to ensure that our Doman friends feel at home upon their arrival. Though I must admit that I am still troubled about the matter of the missing crystals. Stola should be returning anon with a report from the field. Mayhap you could wait here and speak with her upon her arrival. Sure.
How goes the fishing? Caught anything slippery?
Aye. Our suspicions were well founded. The Serpent Reavers are indeed the culprits.
The plot thickens.
Has there been any movement in Thanalan?
It has been blessedly quiet, which is to say the Amalja are being no more or less of a nuisance than usual, summoning Ifrit with such crystals as they have hoarded. Urianger, too, reports not out of the ordinary.
Then we have our explanation.
Your explanation for what, pray tell?
For the recent spate of crystal thefts in Thanalan, we naturally assumed that the trail would lead us back to the Amalja. Yet it did not. It led us across the sea unto Vilbrand.
Vilbrand? There have been reports of increased Sahagin activity of late. Oh gods, they mean to summon Leviathan?
That is the way of it, I fear. Whilst conducting our investigation on behalf of the mineral concern, we came upon evidence implicating the Serpent Reavers. With the aid of the Maelstrom, I was able to verify our suspicions. 'Tis only a matter of time before Leviathan returns to harrow the seas. But there is more. One of the Sahagin, an elder by my judgment, spoke of attaining the gift and knowledge of eternity.
Ugh.
Such a disturbance in the ether. If I did not know better, I should think this device defective. And there is the explanation.
Soon it shall begin. Our Lord shall rise midst surging waves to wash away the finless ones. And I shall be granted the gift and knowledge of eternity, and with the emissary stand equal. Then shall I know no cessation, no oblivion.
Dude's got a
Whence comes
freaking
this
head
promise of
crab from
immortality?
Half-Life 2.
Emissary? We have outstayed our welcome.
Yes, he gets a voice actor. He gets a voice actor.
The gift and knowledge.
Are the two of you quite well?
You shared that vision, did you not?
Yep, I watched the flashback too.
Even before the Sahagin made mention of the emissary, I recognized Elidibus's words. He is behind this. But surely it is not within his power to grant the echo.
My lady, unless we act swiftly, Leviathan will rise again. The Admiral has already requested that we intervene to prevent this. Failing that, we are to attend to the Primal's extermination.
She will have our full cooperation. Let us make haste to Limsa Lominsa. I mean to play a part in this mission. Tataru, pray, take charge in my absence.
Wait, you're not gonna stand by the desk?
My lady, are you sure this is wise?
I am aware of the risks, but there is something I must see with mine own eyes.
But the desk might run away while you're gone.
The true nature of the echo.
Very well. I shall not stand in your way. On the condition that you permit me to accompany you as bodyguard.
Your company is ever welcome, Thancred.
I take it something ill is afoot.
Aye, a Primal is about to be loosed upon Eorzea.
Primal?
A godlike being whose very existence is a bane upon the land. We scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to put an end to their kind.
I see. Know then that I am learned in the arts of war. In return for the kindness you have shown my people, I would lend you my blade.
He's gonna fight too.
It would be most welcome. When contending with a primal, one can never have too many able allies. If you crave a more intimate understanding of the problems facing Eorzea, this experience is like to provide it. Be sure to come well prepared.
Alright, anyway. Sea rises. Plainly, should the worst come to pass and Leviathan is summoned, our only recourse would be to face him in battle. Given the past experience, you may very well think that eventuality inevitable. Yet so long as there is even a chance that the Primal's return might be prevented, we must needs bend all our efforts towards achieving that goal. Before we do aught else, let us hasten to Limsa Laminza and meet with the Admiral. He will not have been idle in the intervening time, and will doubtless have valuable information to share. Alright, to Limsa. Limsa. Charge! You are expected. Pray take this lift to the command room. Sure. Welcome, friends. I take it as Shola has apprised you of the situation? Let us waste no time then. According to our best intelligence, the Sahagin had not crystals enough to summon their god. Alas, we did not count on the Serpent Reavers venturing as far as Thanalan to supplement their cache. For our short-sightedness, we are faced with the grim prospect of Leviathan's imminent return. Needless to say, I am not inclined to let the fishbacks have their way. Even as we speak, the Maelstrom makes ready to launch a large-scale operation to thwart the summoning. And we would welcome the Scion's support in this endeavor. But if gods forbid our efforts should come to naught, I will need to trouble you for more than mere support, for much as which I did when Titan last walked these. Disable that. Lands. Lady Minfilia, I am given to understand that you mean to accompany our soldiers in the front lines. I can only assume that you have sound reasons for doing so. I do, Admiral, but I would rather not be drawn to their nature. I will say only that there is something I would wish to see with mine own eyes. Is that so? Well, I am not so stubborn as to deny the wish of one whose aid I require, precautions must be taken. I shall require that you remain by my side at all times. With that settled, let us speak of the operation. Magnarmus, Maelstrom scouts are currently reconnoitering the Sahagin movements within the Sapsa spawning grounds. Upon completing their mission, they will return to the operation staging point at Camp Skull Valley. I want you to make your way there forthwith, that you might be apprised of the latest intelligence. Commander Fakbrita has charge of the garrison. Alright, here's Camp Skull Valley. There. Airport. 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 I have been expecting you, Scion of the Seventh Dawn. On behalf of the men and women here, I thank you for your cooperation. The safety of our citizens is paramount. With your aid, we will prevent Leviathan's return. Sure. As you may already know, Maelstrom scouts have been dispatched to reconnoiter Sapsa spawning grounds. Though it pains me to admit it, Maelstrom has never faced foe like these before. The likes of this before. We must proceed with all due caution. Among other things, they have orders to determine where Leviathan might emerge, assuming it comes to that, and yet their return is long overdue. I fear that ill may have befallen them. For better or worse, I must ascertain their fate. If it is not too much to ask, I would have you aid us in the search. 5 scouts ventured into the Sapsa, and all told here, take this flask of restorative, and to those who may have been wounded. It pains me to even consider the notion, if they have perished, circumstances permitting, as that you recover their bodies. By no means venture too deep into enemy territory, however. We can ill afford to lose you at this juncture. Oh, it's fine. I can venture as far as I want. Thank you. I owe you my life. We were ambushed by serpent reavers. Lightly armed as that we are, we didn't stand a chance. I was able to flee this far, but the others were captured. They were taken to the Serpent's Tongue. I am certain of it. I can make my own way back to camp, but I fear the worst for my comrades. Save them, I beg you. Alright. Go on in. What's up, bitches? And they're dead. There you go. I'll trade you some bodies for these bodies. It takes me way too long to fit these dead bodies in my pockets. Pocket corpse. You returned. Thank the navigator. And when I learned that you went to the Serpent's Tongue by yourself, I feared that you would meet an untimely demise. But tell me, what became of the others? I got 2 of their dead bodies right here. Dear gods, these wounds, they're not intended to kill, but to torture and maim. Does their savagery know no bounds? Enemies or no, they've gone too far. I dread to think what may have become of the 2 who remain unaccounted for. I pray that they haven't suffered the same evil fate. At the very least, one of my men came back alive, and for that I owe you my thanks. The price we paid was dear, but we may have the intelligence we need. Even as we speak, the Admiral finalizes the details of the operation. The war horns will sound any moment now. Be ready to sally forth when they do. Christ damn fishback bastards, I'll kill them slowly and then chase their rotten souls through all the 7 hells. Pocket corpse. Boom right at her. Peace, Commander. We are here for a purpose. And vengeance is not it. I want your mind on the task at hand, savvy? My apologies, Admiral. You may not count on me to keep a clear head. Good. According to our sole surviving scout, the Saihagan and their thralls have already begun to amass at the Aetheryte in the depths of the Sapsa. If we are to act, it must be now. The men are ready. We but await your orders, Admiral. As predicted, the Saihagan have tightened security in and around the spawning grounds. A frontal assault is like to be met with fierce resistance. Ah, but we are not so artless as that, Commander. We shall divide our forces and strike them hard and fast at key locations. Remember, our ultimate objective is to take the Sapsa Aetheryte and and eliminate the Sahagin priest presiding over the summoning. We are not here to kill them all. Maelstrom shall engage and distract the Sahagin's legion of drowned pirates. The Serpent's Tongue, Commander. You have the charge over this effort. Be mindful that of the lay of the land is devilish for attacking forces. Let the foreign levy spearhead the assault and have subsequent units fan out to cover their flanks. In the selfsame moment, a diversionary squadron formed of galleons from the Crimson Fleet shall harry the enemy from offshore. And likewise, we Scions shall form the smaller units in hopes of confusing the Sahagin defensive effort. Magnarmus and Estrola, both of you, the two of you, are to make your way to the site of the summoning ritual. The Admiral's diversion should serve to thin the enemy's defenses, rendering your path less perilous. Small party, I believe, should be able to win through without drawing unwarranted attention. Tancred and Yugiri, your mission is to lure as many Sahagin as possible out of the spawning grounds. Having done so, take your heels and circle around to join the infiltration unit of Ishtola and Magnarmus. When all has been set in motion, I myself shall cut a path to the Aetheryte, accompanied by Lady Menphilia as we agreed. Well, don't let them keep you, my friends. To battle! When did we last fight side by side, Magnarmus? Too long ago, I warrant. But come, let us away. Quest accepted. Go in here unimpeded if I just fly over them all. Come on, you. Oh, you're doing the fate. Fine, I'll help you with this. Bites the dust. Where'd the other guy go? Oh well. Kill this one too. There. Good. Next. Ishtola says. Pray do not concern yourself. 'Twas but a glancing blow. Come, the Aetheryte is close at hand. Let us press on. And we get cutscene. They've got us surrounded, those poor bastards.
They have made
Damn.
walls of soldiers and civilians both.
Did I miss much? So that is how you fight in the Far East. Mental note, pick no quarrel with Domans. But seriously, if I am to keep up, I must needs forsake elegance for efficiency. To the Aetheryte!
Dramatic indeed.
You'll forgive me my lateness.
I've been something of a liability of late, I know. 'Tis high time I set about making amends.
Long have you shriveled Soarwalker, tormented our kind. But no more! Your time is at an end! You shall perish with salt in your wounds and sea in your lungs.
You guys are awfully quiet over there.
Hearken to our plea. Lord of the world, deliver us from our misery.
Do you feel that?
Angry Fishman. Yep.
I know this sensation. It's the echo.
What?
Francis, are you still there? Always a bigger fish.
Seven hells.
Strike me down if you will. It is futile. I have mastered the gift. I am eternal.
Dead from rabies. That'll get you.
Lion. Ruler of the seas, born of water's primordial. I offer unto you frail flesh, that you might grant your faithful servants deliverance. I beseech you, come forth.
Die, damn you!
Foolish shorewalker! You cannot kill that which is eternal!
Well, you got no bodies left to possess, so...
Heavens forfend.
Damn it all!
My being
Yes, I know.
the way.
Always a bigger fish.
It could by right be infinite. Am I not immortal? Curse you, emissary. You promised me
He promised him double immortality. But then Leviathan ate him.
Where did he go?
What say you? Nary a single ship? Hells take that sea demon. Gather the survivors and get to shore. Leave the wrecks for the pirates. Leviathan wastes
It doesn't.
no time. The diversion
But he was promised it
already
anyway.
lost. For a mercy, 'twould seem the primal now makes for open sea. But why does he not press his advantage? Unless... God save us. He means to unleash a tidal wave.
Understand, I speak of no normal wall of water. That which Leviathan makes ready to conjure carries more destructive power than aught seen in nature. Enough to raise the entire coastal settlements. If his last attempt is any guide, we cannot suffer history to be repeated. Yet how in the seven hells are we to prevent it? Though our plight cries out for action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none. Of that you may be sure, but Lemalian herself would struggle to best the world of Lorel in his element. In a straight fight, he would make meat and matchwood of us. We would need another plan, that much is plain. Let us return to Limsa and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room. Yakuza. I don't know, but the dude was promised double immortality, okay? There is no double immortality working here, though. But, yeah, zilch.
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western Lanosha. Hearthstone, it was called. Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the Company of Heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Hearthstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystals stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Hearthstone may well
In this
befall a
game
larger
series, he's always a sea
than
serpent.
Mensa. That cannot happen. The primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the Primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The Company of Heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet. But we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, all these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe. This, in effect, is what the Company of Heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, this is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works. Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at Naldic and Vermelis. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing. Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe. But I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystals. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
Mayhap not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed two ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Now, from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target. To wit, we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, that will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel. Suffice it to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
It will be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore, assemble the remnants of the fleet at Moraby Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafierson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
At once, Admiral.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of Limsa Lominsa rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, warrior of light.
I'll kill the big water snake. Water snake. Beings held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us that they walked among us in days of yore, but I confess that I never truly believed them. That I should live to behold one is humbling and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I have come face to face with the Primal, I do begin to understand why the Garleans fear them so. What is it? A message, Admiral. I judged it best that it be delivered at once. I am listening. According to the Yellow Jackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan. One of the company of heroes? The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual. I am disinclined to put this story to any story of this claim. And even should it be true, it is as Jistola said, none save the company of heroes have bested Leviathan. We know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, he could tell us that. What could he tell us that we do not know already? And yet, having wagered Limsa's survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, can we afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all. The twin vessel will soon be ready. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom's report on this supposed Primal Slayer's claims. Magnormus, seek him out and learn what he knows. At very least, it will spare you the torment of waiting for the reckoning in idleness. The man you are looking for is believed to be a resident of the Grey Fleet in Lower Lenosha. The Storm Private sent to question him should already be in the vicinity. May your journey prove fruitful. arsenic. Simping way. That's fun. Anyway. At Lower Lenosha. Go. Sally forth. Finally getting to the good parts of the patch. Look here, you'll have your bloody story right after you carry those sacks of grain over to the mill. But, sir, that's what you said before you had me pick those oranges for you, and before I had mucked out the chocobo stables, and before I rolled that millstone over the mill, and also before. Gods, man, I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days, and do you hear me complaining? I suppose some of us ain't made for the rougher stuff. Alright. I'll give you what you want. Never let it be said that I attract them ain't a generous soul. Now, prick up your ears, cause I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one sitting, you kin. The tale of Tractom's epic victory over the dreaded primal Leviabetus. Now, Leviabetus is huge. Make no mistake. To give you an idea how big each of his scales is about as wide across as me members long, and that's no mean feat, let me tell you. When I fought him, I could barely see for all the brine he was pelting me with, but must have been a lagoon's worth at least. He even knocked me trusty axe out of my hands at one stage. Of course, that proved to be a grave mistake. What happened next? Why, I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots. Not wanting to take all the glory for myself, I let me mates in the company of heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I'm modest as well as heroic. Mayhap too modest. Now there's some that say you can never truly beat Leviabetus, as you've got to learn how to live with him and make the best of a bad situation. Not the company, though. Leviabetus. Wow, it's you! I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I was just enjoying the attention is all. I take back everything I said. I was never part of the company of heroes. I'm no marauder, I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing, I'm chocobo dung. No, I'm the maggots you find wriggling in chocobo dung. I have to lie to women to get them to tumble them, and that don't happen much. Me member's tiny, it's pathetic. I sure as hell didn't fight Leviabetus, but I've seen him with my own eyes. It was a fair few years back, when I was working as a baker's hand. I was shirking me duties one day, loitering about the harbor when I saw it. A great big massive sea serpent some bombs off the coast, with a fleet of galleons making straight for it, the cannons firing. I was so bloody scared I soiled myself right there and then. What? Oh gods, just remembered that day makes me soil myself all over again. Hey, wait, if you're asking after Leviabetus, it means you're planning to fight him, ain't you? Well, take care, he's really terrible, dreadful. I tell you, if you're not careful, you'll end up in this gullet, or at the bottom of the sea. Why, you worthless lying whore son. I can't believe you made me handle chocobo dung. Magnarmus, this is Minfilia. Were you able to learn aught of use against Leviathan? I beg your pardon? Leviabetus? I see. That is unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at the Morabe dry docks. Please, pray make your way here as soon as you're able. folded like a lawn chair. Hey, Tractome, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? Lap! Oh, teleport there. Folded like a lawn chair. That was the guy that was earlier in the story that claimed to have defeated Titan when he didn't. I'm told your jaunt to the Grey Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lad. I'll wager it served to make your mind of the events of recent days, though. But enough of that nonsense. The moment of truth is upon us. The twin vessel war leader I call her is complete, and she surpasses all my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonnage, she has been fitted with a platform that you and yours might maneuver freely in battle. I would mention that also she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt that fate. The World Leader and her crew stand ready, my friend. Just give the word and we shall bear you to Leviathan. Ah, I know that look. You are ready. Having been constructed in some haste, the World Leader may not be pretty, but I assure you she's capable. Has she been fitted with all what our friends at Naldi Convelimes are calling an elemental converter? Assuming the thing works, it will use the power of the corrupted crystals on board to rob Leviathan of his hold of water. Depending on how the battle unfolds, you may well activate the device manually. Keep that in mind. It is expected that the Sahagin and their thralls will attempt to come to Leviathan's defense. Accordingly, the Maelstrom will once again employ diversions. Thancred and Ishtola have you assist in this effort. If it is to fulfill its purpose, your diversionary force must not want for numbers. By your leave, I would volunteer my blade. We would welcome it, having seen you fight in Sapsa. I dare say the fishbacks will find your presence highly diverting. Thancred and Ishtola, if you would join the 3rd levy, Lady Yugiri the 5th. What words have I for the man who has made sport of slaying gods? Only these. Go warily, for the sea is an unforgiving place to wage war. May the navigator guide you through the storm, warrior of light. I would echo the Admiral's sentiments and add a few words of my own. Know that we have the utmost faith in you, Magnarmus. May the crystal bless you and keep you. War leader, now accessible. For a leader. Alright, let's do this. Folded as quickly as that jackass that said he defeated you. Folded as quickly as that lying little shit. Knowing the urgency of your business, I thought it best to refrain from making conversation during your past few visits. But today I will permit myself a few words. I feel truly privileged to have had the honor of admitting a hero such as you. You are an inspiration to us all, and so on. And on that note, the Admiral awaits you in the command room.
We Lominsons are sworn to strive, till sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have, had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you. Not for the first time, you have delivered Limsa Lominsa from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally. On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks. 'Tis meet that I give thanks to old Mistbeard, too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
Before I set foot in these lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated. This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man. Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well. Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral. Few are privy to this information, but Limsa Lominsa is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat not unlike your own. By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Yes, she's a ninja.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Yestola! You jest, of course.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left Limsa Lominsa, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in Uldar, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
Minfilia, please!
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Morderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, our nation is in no fit state to take you in. Yet I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering. Until such time as we can do more, I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment, but if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
You wished a word in private.
The better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Y'shtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the Primal's existence. Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagins' reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
I'll not deny your reasoning, but when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course then, but know that it will lead to no good end.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost. To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us. When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
The Admiral has informed me of the arrangement. I have in my keeping a letter of introduction for Lady Yugiri. To the south stands a gate leading to a pier smaller fishing vessels. Look for an inconspicuous Hurian man there. Present the letter to him. He serves as gatekeeper of sorts. Now before you go, I am obliged to remind you that the members of the fraternity to which you would be introduced abide in the shadows of Lemminzen society. They value their independence more highly than pirates, and are united by a bond stronger than mithril. To wit, they are invariably wary of new faces. Though it be penned by the Admiral herself, mere words on parchment will get you only so far in their confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. Oh, but here is the letter. Go to the aforementioned place and show it to the aforementioned man. Oh, and good luck. Business with me, venturer. I just want to wish you luck. We're all counting on you. The other man the Admiral sent word of. Oh, shit. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Thancred, too. Been a while since I saw his shite-eating grin. But what with all the doe-eyed wenches about, I expect he's got his hands full. And you must be the Far Easterner that what Merlib says wants to train with us. Welcome to Limsa, milady. I am Yugiri of Doma. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess that when I first learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that last. Limsa's a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people I keep to the shadows, but we've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. So you have developed fighting techniques suited to this purpose, I see. Know that practitioners of my art, too, are denizens of shadow. It is in stealth that our strength lies. There is much we might learn from one another, I think. What in the seven hells are we waiting for? If you'd come with us, Yugiri of Do-What's-It, we can get acquainted in more private surrounds. That didn't come out right, did it? Master Magnarmus, I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are in the best of hands. You have been a true friend to us, Domans. No words would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When that time comes, it would be my honor to welcome you as a student. Alright, last quest. Much and more has occurred since I first beheld Eorzea from the galleon's deck. Suffices to say I did not envisage being invited to play a part in our noble struggle. But forgive me. I have kept you over long. Doubtless you have pressing business of your own. Rest assured that I no longer require an escort in this land. When you next meet Lady Minfilia, pray relay her my humblest thanks. That I could do so in person, but I must needs fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light. To the Rising Stones. Part. Said that. Alright, final objective for the night. Back to Minfilia next to the desk.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me. When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo. though I cannot well explain the how of it. It would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul. But never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Elidibus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan. And the import of this observation? If the Ascians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder. Could the legend in fact refer to the echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Urianger's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long. Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is aught amiss?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
All the Baldies are dead.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
It is done, my lord. I... Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
That'll be all for tonight. Another patch is complete. So on Thursday, we'll do patch 2.3. Catch you later.